llms.txt is a simple text file you place on your website to make it easier for large language models like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and others to better understand which parts of your website are more useful. It's kind of like giving these AI tools a reading list. You're not controlling what they do, but you're giving them a clear map. Like, here are the articles, guides, pages that best explain what my site is about. Use it at your will. This text file matters because AI tools are increasingly being used like search engines. People are asking them all sorts of questions, from product comparisons to how to advise, and these tools pull content from across the web to answer them. Search engines like Google and Bing are not the only places people search for things anymore. So if your content is helpful but the AI doesn't know that it exists or can't find it easily, it might be left out of those answers. Simple as that. So llms.txt gives your content a better chance to be included in those answers. And if you want to learn how to easily create the file, let's go. Hey, it's Jack from RankMath, the one SEO plugin that empowers millions of WordPress users, and this channel is all about helping you grow your search traffic. So if you haven't subscribed to us yet, consider doing so. Now, llms.txt is not a trick or a ranking hack like others claim. It is just a way to communicate directly with AI models about what you have published. Let's say that you run a site with tutorials, a blog, or even an e-commerce store with helpful product guides. Right now, AI tools might stumble upon your content randomly, or they might rely on traditional search engines for answers. But if you create the llms.txt file and you list your best pages in it, you're making their job easier. Some companies, for example Zapier, have implemented the llms.txt file on their site. It looks complicated, but after this video, you will understand how it works. You can find the llms.txt file on Anthropic, Kaggle, and many others. Now, one thing I need to mention is that the llms.txt file is a proposed standard. It is not widely adopted yet. However, check out this page. It is a curated directory of products and companies leading the adoption of the llms.txt standard. Which means more and more businesses, products, services, and AI models will eventually adopt this standard. Which is why if you are implementing it right now, you are an early adopter and you are ahead of the curve. And to be honest, it brings no harm to your site and it is easy to implement, so why not, right? Anyway, I'll first be talking about how to create the file if you are not using RankMath. And then we will talk about how to easily create the file if you are using RankMath, and finally talk about what to add to the file and the syntax of the file. In simple terms, the language that the large language models understand. So let's go. Every element on your website is organized into files and folders, and they are stored in your web server. The file system on your web server is similar to the file system on your computer. Now, the llms.txt file needs to be added to the root directory of your website. And in the context of a computer file system, the desktop is where the file needs to be. So the first thing you need to do is to log into your web hosting account. The user interface of every web server will be different, but the concept will be the same. You need to visit the website you wish to add the llms.txt file. For example, our visit is dashboard. And the important thing is for you to visit the file manager of the specific website. If you are using cPanel, you should be able to find the file manager as one of the options. As you click on it, all your files and folders of your website will be in this public HTML folder. And here is where you need to create the text file. Now, if you have troubles locating the file manager of your website, you need to contact your web hosting provider or search for their knowledge base. Anyway, you want to create a new file. Give the file a name, which is llms.txt, and create the file. And this is the blank file. We'll talk about what to add to the file in a while, so stay tuned. For now, we'll just write this is a llms.txt file. Let's save the file. And now the text file is available on your site. You can visit the file by going to your browser and add llms.txt right behind your domain. And here we go. This is the text we have just added. If you have created a robots.txt file on your site, the process is exactly the same. Now, if you are a RankMath user, even the free version, here's how you can easily create the llms.txt file without logging into your web hosting account. Now, if you're running a WordPress website and you have installed RankMath, you can easily create the llms.txt file. All you need to do is to visit RankMath's dashboard As you scroll down, you will see a module called llms.txt. This is available even if you are a free RankMath user. So as you turn on the module, you can visit its settings by clicking on this button, or you can go to its general settings and you will see the edit llms.txt option. Without turning on the module earlier, you will not see this. So let's click on it and you will see that your llms.txt file has already been created. This is without you logging into your hosting account and creating a new file. This is done automatically for you as you turn on the module. You can click on this link to visit the text file, and this is how it looks currently. It is still somewhat blank, so we will add some content to it. Now, if you want your posts, pages, products, or whatever post types to be included in the file, all you need to do is to check the appropriate boxes. And since most of our articles are in the post type, I will check this and uncheck pages. Now the same goes for the taxonomies. You can have RankMath automatically add your categories, tags, or whatever to the file. And then this setting will tell RankMath what is the maximum number of links to include for each selected post type. It is pretty straightforward. Now there is no set standard or guidance as to what should be the limit, but just take note that AI models have a token limit. So if you're going to list every single article in the file size would increase, and it may cause the AI crawlers to either partially ignore the text or completely ignore the file, and that would defeat the purpose. So we would say to include only the content that matters. So if you already know what pages on your site are important and you do not want RankMath to automatically add the links to the file, you can utilize this additional content section to customize the text in the file. We will get to this in a while. I will show you how to do it. But for now, let's have RankMath automatically add the pages to the file. Let's click on Save Changes. And remember earlier this file was practically empty? Now let's visit it again. And you will see that the page is filled with content of your site. Currently, this website has only 3 published posts, and that's why you see 1, 2, and 3 posts here. If you have many content on your site, this page will fill. Now, if you happen to change your mind and you do not want RankMath to add those links, you want to customize it yourself, you can uncheck the box or boxes, click on Save Changes, and visit the file again. You will see all the content removed. So we made it easy for you to add the content of your site to the llms.txt file. But if you want to know how to customize the file, let me walk you through some syntax or the language of the large language models. Let's first check out a typical llms.txt file. If you look closely, there are some common symbols, like a single or double hashtags, square brackets, followed by rounded brackets, and then double asterisks, as well as single asterisk that represents list items. And in some other llms.txt files, they will use dashes instead of asterisks for list items. But what does these all means? Let me explain. A single hashtag is like the H1 heading tag. It usually describes the main title of a page, and in this case, this file is all about describing the important pages of your website. So your website name will typically be marked with a single hashtag, which means this is the H1 heading tag of the page. Following that, the double hashtags are like the H2 heading tags. If you use RankMath to automatically add your posts, the H2 heading tag for this section will be posts. However, if you want to name this to be something more meaningful, for example in the case of RankMath, we have a huge knowledge base of content to help users navigate our plugin. And the pages shown here are the most important to its topic. So if we were to create a llms.txt file from scratch, it will be hashtag space RankMath, and then double hashtags that symbolizes H2, we will add knowledge base, get started. And then just like this, we'll add a couple of links. So we will add the link using dashes, and then another H2 with knowledge base, content AI, just like this, followed by schema and analytics. And just for context, it will look something like this. And if you want to bold the text for these descriptions, you can add double asterisk in front, and the same goes for the back. Let's do this for the rest. And now it's time to add the links. So let's go back to the Kaggle example. The syntax for adding links will start with the description of the page within the square brackets, followed by the exact URL of the page in rounded brackets. And then following that, you can add a description of what the link is about, with a colon right after the rounded brackets. So in our case, this is the text of the link. We will copy it. Let's go to the file, add a space and the squared brackets, and let's add the text within it. Following that, we want to add the link. So we have copied the link. We want to then add the rounded brackets and paste the link here. And if you want to further describe the link, you can do so. This is optional. You can say this is how you can install the Imagify plugin via RankMath Pro. And this is the syntax for adding a single link to the file. To add another, you just have to add a dash or an asterisk, followed by the description and the URL. It is the same format as earlier. If this text file only contains the important links, when LLM crawlers like OAI search bots from ChatGPT, Claude bot, Perplexity bot, and others visit the file, they will focus on these links and use the content for their response in their platform. Anyway, let's say that you have customized the content for the llms.txt file. As a RankMath user, you just need to add those tags to the additional content area. Click on Save Changes, and they will be included in the file. Let's visit it. And here we go. Simple and easy. So as best practice, do not include login pages, checkout or cart pages, ads or JavaScript heavy landing pages, privacy policies, and any pages that do not offer value outside of your website. Also, you want to be selective and choose only the content that really reflects your knowledge or value your site offers. Update the file regularly, which means if there is a new important piece of content, add it to the file. And most importantly, make sure that those URLs you add are working, because broken links confuses AI models. So it takes less than 10 minutes to set up, and it is one of those small steps that could quietly help your site stay relevant as search continues to evolve. So it makes sense to add that file. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash the thumbs up. Our channel is all about helping you grow your search traffic, and if you haven't subscribed to us yet, consider doing so. This is Jack from RankMath. I'll see you in the next video.